Hi, Sabrina here, Books of the Wernberg, and I have finished, literally, I did really well yesterday, I have just finished, oh my god, the glare on that side's terrible, sorry, that's the light, Taylor Swift by the book. This is by Rachel Feder and Timothy Tatram. This is a look at Taylor Swift lyrics through their literary connections. So, I mean, some are really obvious, like Romeo and Juliet and Love Story, and some are really more subtle than that. And so it's broken down to each album, each era, and they go through bit by bit, talking about what era we're in. I mean, I can't even pronounce that word, but it's so cool. Then we have a bit about the album, and then we have focus songs, and particular lines from those songs are pulled out, and the literary connection is talked about and explained. What I really also like is throughout the book we have a bit on a particular tortured poet. Emily Dickinson's mentioned in here, Dylan Thomas is mentioned here, T.S. Eliot, Robert Lowell. I mean, there was some in here that I actually didn't know, because I think they were more American than UK based, and I suppose that's my only complaint, that it is very heavy on the American literature side, but then it makes sense, you know, Taylor is an American, and you know, the literary text that she would reference would be UK classics that came over, so I get that, that's fine. As well as focus points, there's also there's like a little side essay in each era, and then we have further reading. So each era, if you like this era, here's some text to go and look to. So for the Taylor Swift era, the debut, we've got things like A Sentimental Education, Great Expectations, And the Green Gables, Sons and Lovers, and Brown Girl Dreaming, you know, to read if you really like that era. And then at the end of each era, we have a playlist, and this covers songs from across her catalogue. So it's not just ones that are from that era alone. So each playlist has a theme. So the coming of age playlist, which obviously comes at the end of the debut era, has things like A Place in This World, Our Song, 15, You Belong With Me, Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, Betty, Cardigan, August, Jim McGraw, It's Nice to Have a Friend, Mary's Song, Oh My My My, Suburban Legends, 'Tis the Damn Season, Dorothea, Down Bad, and So High School. That's that playlist. So it'd be really cool to actually go on and create a playlist and go, right, well, I feel in this motif. This is how I feel in the moment. I'm going to play these ones. So it's really cool. I love the fact that it's really obvious that not only are the authors Swifties themselves, which they do confess, but they also have a great understanding of text and all that. So they do know what they're writing about, which is really nice. You know, they haven't just done a Google search for everything, which is very, very reassuring. You know, it's quite interesting to see how her literary influences have shifted and changed over her, what, now 18 years as an artist. So obviously in debut and Speak Now, it starts off very fairy tale-esque, you know, where love is good, where evil is black and white, where you get your happy ever after, where the prince is the same by the prince. But even in those eras, there's still undercurrents where she pulls out something different, and she's like, you know, the princess can save herself in this one. And then you move towards like Reputation era, which is a lot sort of darker and more, you know, I'm fighting back. So all the texts that she's referencing from are about women who stand up for themselves, who are about anti-heroes. They start creeping in before we even get to Midnights. Obviously you've got the Tortured Poets department, which references so many great literature writers, but they have been influencing her work throughout. The Great Gatsby is referenced frequently throughout the songs over the years, particularly when it comes to, you know, love being like a car crash when it's over, which references the Great Gatsby car crash, which I didn't even know was in the book. I mean, I have not read The Great Gatsby. I am not a fan. You know, so I mean, there was stuff that I was learning about the songs, because, you know, yes, I listened to the songs and I am a Swiftie and everything, but there was stuff I was learning about that actually gave the lyrics even a greater depth. Now, I don't know if Taylor meant to put these references directly in her work, but the fact there are so many, so frequently, that fit so perfectly, She knows what she's doing. She must do. This is not a fluke and coincidence that so many literature references keep cropping up in her work. She knows her stuff. She knows what she's doing. I do love the Alice in Wonderland references. I mean, obviously Wonderland is one of my favourite songs. I just like the way that you've got this nonsense, this chaos, references to mad women, which obviously goes through into Evermore folklore. I like those elements of the literature references there, and they really jump out to me because obviously I do know Alice's Adventures in Wonderland pretty well. But it was just fascinating, you know, obviously seeing stuff about the Brontes and then the references to vampires and Dracula and Camilla later on in other work. It's a really fascinating, well put together little book. I mean, it's a lovely little hardback book anyway. It's very cute. It's not huge. It's very heavy. I've currently got some carpal tunnel going on my hands, so because it's the hand I hold my books in, so it's like so I have to keep swiping hands now. But I just find it really interesting that the authors have done such a good job putting all this information together, making it accessible. I mean, at the back, not only do we have an index, so you can just go and look up anything you possibly could want to know about Taylor Swift and literature, but at the very back, we've also got a glossary of literature terms. Now, yeah, there you go, just a few. So, you know, obviously you've got the easy ones like alliteration and antithesis and all that. But, you know, there's some obscure ones in here. And I did A-level English language and English lit. And there were terms in here that I've not come across. So it's quite thorough, which is really nice. So if you're looking at doing GCSE English and even A-level English, this would be handy just to help you pull together an understanding of literary terms and poetical terms being used in text and poetry and song lyrics, obviously, because what are songs? They are poems set to music. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, and you know, I have been buying an awful lot of Taylor Swift books, but I think this is one of my favourites. It's definitely a dip in and out. You know, you could put an album on and go, oh, what does that mean? I can't remember. Or what was that? Or, oh, I wanted to read more about that. You could just pull up your era and have a look at the song you're listening to. But no, highly enjoyed that one. Recommend it a lot. There we go. So, have you read By the Book? What did you think of it? What's your favourite literature reference in Taylor Swift song? And apologies if you're not a Swiftie. But then if you're not a Swiftie, you probably haven't watched all of this video. There we go. As always, thank you very much for watching. Happy reading. Bye.